Hello everybody, welcome back to Nation Wars 3. It's the last day of all group stage competition. Joining me is Funker and of course Le Dud. How's it going, boys?
It's going pretty good. What about you? Are you cold or something? Like what's going on with this
grandpa
sweater, man?
What's going on?
It's not a grandpa sweater at all.
Isn't it?
It's mine. And it's a really nice one.
Yeah, okay. if you say so. I don't know.
It's called a jumper, and it's actually comfy.
jumper.
But the thing is, I am actually feeling the heat underneath these lights now, and so I think I will take it off soon. But how are you actually doing, rather than questioning my outfit?
Pretty good. Excited for today's games to see who will advance in second place of this group here and be our 8th team to qualify for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, really excited. I think yesterday the way it all played out makes it for a way more interesting group than expected. You know, everybody thought South Korea is gonna go 4-0, 4-1 maybe, and then advance without getting any competition out of it.
Yeah.
But this time Finland, and yesterday the performance of Finland beating both Germany and then pushing Korea to the limit makes for today. Like a way better day again, because who would have thought Germany would be in the losers round?
Yeah, I think that's what's really cool about today as well. Like if you're tuning in and cheering for one of those teams, you basically have a chance, or I guess your team has a chance to qualify here, no matter who it is. It's not like, oh, I hope the boys pull out a miracle and then somehow qualify and advance on to the next round. No, any of these 3 teams could be the one that qualifies here today.
Yep, 2 best-of-7s left to go this evening. And if you are tuning in for the very first time for Nation Wars, which maybe some of you are, we, us 3, put together a video that hopefully can get you understanding the format of Nation Wars 3. It's the last time. Hello everybody, we're your English broadcast team for Nation Wars 3. My name is Apollo, and joining me on this couch is Todd.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Apollo. Funka will be joining us as well later on to cast in English, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to casting with Funka a little bit later on, but let's talk a little bit about the format of Nation Wars 3. It's a 16-country tournament. Every single game is best of 7 until we get to the grand finals, which then will become a best of 9. And some of you should know this because you voted in. The players that represent their countries were through public voting, and we have 3 players to represent each country, as well as a single substitute if one of them cannot make it. So we have 16 countries spread across 4 groups, 4 countries in each group, with the top 2 advancing to the quarterfinals, which then becomes a single elimination bracket as we look for the top 4.
And the top 4 will actually be played here in Paris at a very prestigious venue to be announced later this Sunday.
Groups A and Group B will be then played in December, on December the 3rd through to December the 6th. And then Group C and Group D will be on the 10th through to the 13th of December before we head into the new year.
And what better way to start the year than with a bang with some StarCraft 2 on the 2nd and 3rd of January. That's when the round of 8 will be taking place. That will still be online. And then on the 13th, that's when the live action here in Paris will begin.
And that's where the fun really happens at the live venue, because Nation Wars 1 and Nation Wars 2 were absolutely fantastic, and we're very excited to be a part of this. Nation Wars has something special to hold within the StarCraft community. I know all of you watching this enjoy it, and we're very excited to be a part of it.
It's a very unique tournament, which I really wonder why it took so long for somebody to finally do it. So I'm really happy that O-Gaming stepped up, and it's one of my favorite tournaments, I have to admit. So I'm really looking forward to those games and to seeing which country is the best.
All right, it's time to find out which nation is the best in StarCraft 2.
GG!
The best video in esports. Started with 16 teams. Now we are down to 7 that have gone through to the playoff stages. And tonight we'll find the 8th team for the last 3 countries fighting for advancement. Yesterday was a great day. We already talked a little bit about it. Great close matches all around, and hopefully today can also provide some entertainment for you guys, because I think yesterday was probably the best night of StarCraft we've had. I mean, we had great nights when France played, but yesterday was pretty awesome.
Yeah, the level of excitement was off the chart, just because
off the charts.
Yes, because just because the way it all turned out was so unexpected. In the end, Korea qualified yesterday, but the way they did it wasn't the one expected, and just in general, I think it made for a really great day of StarCraft, and the comebacks and the river soul kill and everything. But I'm getting in advance. We have a video for this.
We do have a video for this where we all put our thoughts and opinions on what happened yesterday, what we thought was going to happen yesterday. If you missed yesterday, watch this.
Bah, avant Finlande-Allemagne, personnellement, je m'attendais à une victoire de l'Allemagne. Hein.
J'étais pas si chaud que ça. Je m'attendais en fait à un gros stomp, au moins au niveau du score, en la faveur de l'Allemagne.
Started with TLO, taking the first map quite easily against Sugilian, and then Wellmu happens.
Le match a été énorme.
Pour moi, le move qui m'a impressionné, c'est quand même Showtime qui, à un moment, est dans une game. Avec son observateur, il voit quoi? Il voit 5 Zealots, quelques trackers, des sentries qui vont vers sa base.
Showtime l'a parfaitement défendu, mais c'est ultra serré. C'est le mec, il fait un perfect wall. Il aligne les pylônes et les gates juste à la dernière seconde.
Just think about it. If he didn't build those pylons and gateways, he would have never been able to defend, because in the end, he was just going down to a few units remaining for the German player.
Nouvelle-Zélande-Corée, très très bon match.
Alors tout a démarré de la façon la plus normale avec Parting qui a défoncé les deux premiers néo-zélandais et ensuite Petraeus est sorti, il a réussi à battre Parting.
J'ai trouvé qu'en règle générale il y avait eu des très bons matchs, surtout de la part de Parting.
The final fight in Petraeus vs Parting was pretty damn awesome because it had like everything. You have Immortal, Stampers, a big mothership and stuff, but it just wasn't enough. Like that Zerg army is terrifying, and that Protoss army that normally looks so scary and people say is invincible, it just melted like it was absolutely nothing. All the Ultras survived and stuff, so I think that was pretty awesome to see.
Ah, c'était de la folie, le Serral, il était beaucoup trop chaud.
I expected Korea 4-0 easy games against Finland. Oh boy was I wrong.
Ils étaient menés 0-3. Serral a été impressionnant. Après Innovation a quand même dit, je suis là.
Le moteur a mis un peu de temps à chauffer, mais une fois Innovation parti, entre guillemets, malheureusement, voilà, ça s'est retourné très très vite, mais Serral, il a envoyé du bois.
Le best move, Herbert le Zergling.
Je pense que personne n'oubliera jamais ce petit Zergling.
One Zergling killed 8 SCVs. How can a world-class Terran player not stop that? How can he not see it? Innovation.
C'était vraiment le groupe où je m'attendais, voilà, il y aura Corée en premier, l'Allemagne deuxième, et puis finalement ça sera un peu nul derrière. Non, 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 les 4 pays ont été dingues.
Nouvelle-Zélande contre l'Allemagne, ça va être méga chaud. Je pense que l'Allemagne va remporter facilement, on va dire 4-2. Et je dirais l'Allemagne contre la Finlande. La revanche, je dirais peut-être 4-2 pour la Finlande.
I think Germany's going to actually perform tomorrow. They have a top 4 in this tournament squad available to them. They definitely should be coming out in second place. I don't think it's going to be very easy because Petraeus is awesome and we just saw what Finland can do. But I'm going to go and I'm going to back Germany. I live in Germany, I have to.
I hope Innovation saw this video and heard you scold him. You're like blacklisted for life. You try to say hi to him next tournament, he just ignores you.
I don't care who you are, how good you are. If you do mistakes like that, I'm going to shout at you. Trust me, I've seen Funker do mistakes and I've shouted at him many times. Innovation.
Same caliber of player. Innovation, Funker, same stuff,
Same stuff.
Same stuff.
So yesterday, as you saw in the videos, was a really, really good day. Of course, Cyril was the guy yesterday. As much as Innovation was the guy that delivered and got them through, it was Cyril that everyone was talking about, was watching, because he did take 3 games away in a row versus Korea. But unfortunately, Innovation was the guy who got the ball rolling eventually. The machine was working, and he then also performed very, very well.
Yeah, well, it's, even just talking about Cyril, I think, is a little bit misleading because first game, Finland versus Germany, was already really important to, nobody expected Germany to go down. And that was mostly because of Wellmu, because Wellmu was able to take 3 games in a row. And then the fact that they decided to revive Cyril was already a pretty good indicator of how good Cyril is.
Yeah.
And he was the one to be able to take down Showtime and then go forward and repeat that kind of.
Even though up to that point he was really Wellmo who had been scoring most points against Germany. So Cyril definitely the ace player I think for Finland, and we should expect that trend to continue here today.
Yeah, in the decider match. First match is going to be Germany versus New Zealand. Is there a clear favourite out of the 3 countries that you look at? For me, it's Germany. What do you guys?
I guess still Germany, but
it's a pretty close set of
the Finland hype train, bro.
The Finland hype train.
I'm so hyped. I really like what they produced yesterday. So I would feel really bad for Finland if they go into a rematch, let's say, between Finland and Germany.
I thought you meant specifically Germany, New Zealand first.
Overall,
oh yeah.
Overall, would you say? I mean, you can do both.
No, yeah. Overall, I think Maybe Finland, yeah. I thought you meant Germany,
And
New
then-
Zealand.
Yeah, I think this is quite a clear advantage to Germany.
Yeah.
The two big names I think we're going to see collide today will be Showtime versus Petraeus.
Exactly.
So we'll be looking forward to that one. In a couple of moments, we will be going over to the pre-game interviews with the team captains. We can take a look at the teams, the players that each country has available to them today. Starting off here with Germany, captained by Dr. Dario Wunsch, a.k.a. TLO, with Showtime and Hirmarine. Hirmarine couldn't quite put the performances in yesterday, but today's a different day. It was only one match that they did play yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a good set. I mean, we talked about Germany a lot yesterday as having one of the best all-round potential to be a very easily top 4 country in this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. But Hirmarine needs to score some points. And as we said yesterday, I don't remember what competition was it. The Showtime versus Hirmarine one.
EPS Germany.
EPS Germany.
Meisterschaft.
We've got a triple Meisterschaft crowned player here in Showtime.
Trying to live up to Azov's legacy.
Exactly. And Hirmarine apparently gave a run for Showtime's money on the on that competition. So I'm pretty sure Hirmarine can and will perform at some point, but he needs to, because TLO Showtime is an amazing lineup, but you wanna consider yourself a top 4. You need to have 3 players. You need to have Hirmarine stepping up.
Yeah, and Showtime, of course, everyone's expecting a lot of big things from him in 2016, just recently signed with Team Millennium. But today, we'll continue to play for Germany. They had a decent day yesterday. TLO took a game away from Zhu Liang, but then lost versus Welmu. Showtime did take 2 games away from both the star players, Welmu and Cyril, but unfortunately was not able to win the ace match, which pushed Germany to where they are today. But New Zealand, though, they have one superstar on their team, and he is a superstar. Petraeus is very, 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 very good at late game Zerg, and that's what we'll be expecting to see today. Crimson and Mighty Kiwi, weaker players, obviously, weaker links here. And do you think that's going to hold them back today from being able to get top 2 then?
Logic would argue that yes, it's gonna be an issue at some point, because Petraeus, as you said, is amazing, and when he reaches late game, he seems almost unbeatable.
Yeah.
But if you, for some reason, or in any kind of situation or strategy that you use, and you can take him out before that stage, then maybe you can take out Petraeus, and then Crimson, Mighty Kiwi, mad respect to those guys, but I think they're gonna be a walkover for Germany.
It feels like the lesser players on the teams, like for example, Crimson and Mighty Kiwi here on New Zealand, who are not nearly as known and as good as Petraeus, they haven't been very decisive in their build order selection and going for builds that they think will give them the best chance on one map in particular. And usually that's a huge deciding factor in the success of your team. In the past, Norway won the NationWars 1 and 2, and it was a huge thanks to Ike, who even though he wasn't known, he was using crazy one-time builds in best of ones against multiple players and beating people he supposedly wasn't going to do particularly well against. So now I feel like there's been a lack maybe of good build order selection. Even yesterday, like Welmu against Korea, I feel like it was a very poor attempt. Zhu Liang as well. Like he was trying to go into maybe a bit of a longer game against a Korean player. Like you shouldn't really do that. Like you should pick the best all-in that you think is going to have a chance and maybe go for it. So maybe they need to do better with this.
I think New Zealand have a bit of weakness with the lack of diversity that they have in their country, right? It's just 3 Zergs. And, sometimes that's going to work well for you. Sometimes it's going to be in the opposite way. And I feel against Germany, it is in the opposite way today, because Showtime, we've seen, is very, very, very good against Zerg players. And then TLO is good in Zerg versus Zerg as well. So it almost feels that 3 Zergs is going to hinder them today in their first match.
There's a good chance it will. And it's maybe if they were of a higher caliber, all of them, it could be a strength. But right now, it definitely feels like it's a weakness.
All right. Final thoughts here on this match then. We're almost ready for the pre-game interview with the boys, the captains.
Well, just hope that we get good games out of it. And as you said, I think the highlight of New Zealand Germany would be Showtime against Petraeus, and I hope we see those games maybe twice with the revive rule. So just looking forward to them, and maybe the other players from New Zealand should just step it up a little bit and maybe give them a run for their money.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're almost ready. I need a thumbs up though before we go, because I don't want to go over before we can't. They're not quite ready yet. The captains aren't on Skype yet, but they will be shortly. So let's continue to talk about this then.
In terms of New Zealand against Germany here, I feel like if Petraeus' teammates gets just 1 or 2 kills, it might be enough for him to have a good chance at finishing Germany off by himself, but he's going to have to be on point. We've seen how one player can carry a team.
Yeah.
So Petraeus, he has to be the ace here. He has to be the guy that does most of the heavy lifting.
Two other things that we need to talk about a little bit today as well, aside from New Zealand versus Germany, is the round of 8 drawing is happening this evening.
Yep.
So we'll be doing the playoff bracket at the end of the show. So we'll see who plays who in the quarterfinals come 2016, January the 2nd and 3rd. And of course, obviously, then it's going to progress naturally through to the top 4, which is played in the Olympia in the middle of La Paris.
Your specialty, Apollo, the drawings.
I love drawing shows, man.
It's your bread and butter.
I do. I love it. Can't wait to be involved into it. Of course, you can see on the right-hand side the seeding already, the first place finishers and the second place finishers of each group, where we're just finding one more country, either New Zealand, Germany, or Finland will fill that last slot. And then we'll have seed 1 randomly drawn with seed 2s, and then we'll obviously have the bracket kind of unfolds a little bit later on. Excited for that.
But already, as you can see on the right side, 7 teams that, look pretty solid, pretty cool. I like the round of 8 and how it's shaping up right now.
Yeah,
whether it's Germany or Finland or even New Zealand, coming to the table with all those 7 nations, I think it looks quite good, and it has meaning. When you think about StarCraft in general and the powerful scenes and everything, I think nobody stole their place there.
It's kind of hard to look at those teams and see a really weak team in the top 8.
Yeah,
because I think they've all got pretty good strengths.
What's funny is that going into the drawing, every team can only play 3 options.
Yeah.
So, for example, for France, it would be Ukraine, Canada, or South Korea.
Yeah.
So, all the French
crossing their
people and
fingers.
supporters, we're like, please, not Korea.
Yeah. May happen. And then, obviously, you're going to have to really step up in the quarterfinals. Also, one more thing before we go over to the interviews is remember to send in your pictures. I know Sunday is a little more of a chill evening for you guys at home, because last night we had party pictures, we had some guy watching in a club. There was a lot of bottles of vodka because Finland were playing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of alcohol. Sunday night is more of a chill, green tea evening with your slippers on in front of the TV, because obviously everyone's got to go to work tomorrow. But do send in your pictures and let us know how you are watching NationWars 3 tonight, and maybe some more, banter pictures can come through. Always like those. Top banter pictures. And we'll be showing as many as we can during the show. I think we showed a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you think how many pictures we looked at over the last weekend or the last 3 days? It's like hundreds.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Actually, there were games after which there was so many. Like I think when Sarah was doing really well against Korea, our producer said all right, I can't keep up. Like we're getting 8 tweets a second or something.
Yeah. So do send some more in this evening. They're always fun to look at.
Yeah,
and,
you guys have been
really
amazing. Really stepped up on the front of cool pictures and using the proper hashtag and everything. Everybody has been amazing for this.
Who do you think the starting players are going to be then this evening for New Zealand? I think it's quite dangerous to send out Petraeus first, so we're going to see one of the weaker players.
Usually you want to send out a scout, so either Crimson or Mighty Kiwi first to try and see what's going on and get a kill themselves. I mean, they've had a whole night, a whole day here to think about this match and who they will be facing. Preparation, they knew the map as well, so maybe some very specific preparation here for them to try and take a map away from Germany, which could be very, very important.
Nice and early for Team New Zealand. It's 6:15 in the morning.
Yep. On your feet, soldier.
On your feet, soldier.
It's time to save the country.
So good morning to any Kiwis who are tuning in to support Team New Zealand. It is bright and early on a Sunday morning. I'm not too sure. Not sure how many people are going to be up at 6 a.m. But if you are, then you can send in your picture of the sun rising or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
New Zealand.
The people with passion will be up.
I'm sure.
Actually, Sean, we didn't talk about that, but you said, I'm all about Germany, but you also said that New Zealand took out the UK.
Yesterday you said something really silly.
Mac is a citizen of England.
See that?
Yes. Show me.
See that flag right there?
Yep.
Wait. Get rid of the stars. What flag does that look like? Mine.
I know. So won't you torn?
Like to his points.
To my point is, I think Germany will advance in terms of predictions and understanding who plays and who's good. And
what about your heart? What does your heart say?
The heart is all about this. Wait a minute, it's folded up again. I want to see New Zealand do well. I think it would be epic to have this underdog team go through. So that's where it is, especially because they knocked out the UK too. But
actually, it's funny because whoever comes out in second here, they meet a first place finisher, which would be, I think, Ukraine or Poland.
Yeah.
And like, some of these matches are definitely doable. Imagine New Zealand advances here and faces Ukraine. I think they have a shot.
I think if New Zealand get to the top 4, we have to like bring them out on carpets or on the back of nerds, and I don't know, like they'd
Riding sheep.
Riding sheep. I don't know. Like, there's so many ways they could be introduced to the stage. But it sounds like the pre-game interview is ready.
Yay.
Let's head over to the public viewing area to hear from the captains.
Solid start as always, Sean. Today I learned whenever it's 6 p.m. in Europe, it's Sunday morning in New Zealand. Like that probably means it's still Friday night in America. Like that's great. Like hi Americans, hope you have a great Friday evening. Either way, we're getting ready to have another awesome day here at NationWars 3. The last one of the group stages, and I believe the captains are ready. Of course, TLO and Petraeus. No webcam for Petraeus today, but we do see that handsome face of good old Dario. Dario, yesterday for us was a pretty amazing, unique day. We were surprised by a lot of the results. How did you witness NationWars 3 yesterday?
Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't so great for us because we lost. But it was pretty sick to see Cyril doing so well against South Korea. So that's kind of like nice for us. At least we lost against the team that almost beat Korea. But today we want to advance anyway, of course.
Let's be honest, you were sweating a little bit, right, when Finland was up 3-0? Were you guys getting a little nervous?
Well, I mean, it would have been pretty unfortunate to play against South Korea in the losers match. You know, that would have been very unlucky for us.
Petraeus, are you with us?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think yesterday, looking at the match, like obviously for us Europeans, a lot of us are not very well familiar, with Mighty Kiwi. I know him a little bit. I know he's decent. Crimson is kind of a mystery to me, but I think the boys did quite well yesterday. Could you tell us a little more about your two Zerg teammates?
There's not really much to know, to be honest. They're just, you know, ladder heroes. No, they did all right. They can usually keep up with most of the known players, and they did really well in the qualifiers. So I'm hoping they'll pull out that performance today.
I mean, we all know
get some wins.
Yeah, Pat, we all know that you're very good, and obviously you're capable of carrying a team. But do you think it's essential here that Mighty Kiwi or Crimson will steal a map or two from Germany?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I can do it all on myself.
Hey Petraeus, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm wondering, will you smile if you win?
I'm smiling right now.
Wow. Doesn't sound like it, mate, but I believe in you.
The sound of your voice brings joy to my life.
And vice versa. I love hearing your voice too. All right, that's all I wanted to say. I love Petraeus.
Great contribution to this interview. Dario, last before we're going to go ahead and see who's going to play first. What about the moral right now in the German team? Like, I know you guys are all pretty confident individuals. It must have been a little bit of a shocker, right, yesterday, but do you guys still think it's going to be all right in the end?
Come on, we're StarCraft players. We don't have any strong emotions.
Okay, so all is good in good old Germany?
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna do fine. I don't think yesterday is gonna affect our performance today in any way whatsoever.
All right. Well, if you want, give us a little prediction. But of course, what is mandatory is that you let us know who's going to be the first player for Germany.
Well, it's gonna be Hero Marine for us first this time, and well, I don't know what the score is gonna be, but I think we're gonna win.
All right, Petraeus, same questions.
Yeah, we're sending out our special weapon, Crimson, and I think we're gonna lose 0-4.
What the hell, guys? Like, what am I supposed to do with y'all? All right, thank you very much, Dario and Petraeus, and good luck in the games today.
Okay, thank you.
What am I supposed to add? I think we're going to lose 4-0.
Well, it's not that much for you, but I think New Zealand is gonna win. I can feel the motivation in Petraeus' voice, so...
Yeah, he's spitting fire, man. He's dropping bombs, so confident. All right, I guess that's it for us. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Rotti. Back
And
on
thank
the-
you, Petit Drogo.
And Petit Drogo. Petit Drogo,
Yeah,
you're the best man.
Make sure we use him for every interview from now on.
Yeah, every interview and every Zerg vs. Zerg and Terran
I
vs.
agree,
Terran.
yeah.
I wish he was here sitting with us to do this game, because obviously he's an expert when it comes
You
to
shouldn't
Terran
joke that,
vs.
because we can probably come here. Like, I'll give my seat for
Drogo.
him.
Oh,
You will?
interested?
Okay, interesting.
I think Drogo's so funny. I laugh so much at everything he says. I think he's hilarious. I don't know about you guys.
That's pretty cool.
He's a special boy.
He's great. I love him.
we'll
I think
agree
he's
on
been
that.
a great
Special.
addition to the team. He's enjoyed it too. This is the best part. But
You know-
focusing now on this then.
You know what he likes the most?
What does he like the most?
Free food.
Free food.
Yeah.
I heard he likes free food.
Yeah, he
I
told,
heard
he
Libo
told me
likes
he's
free
like,
food too.
Yeah. He takes some and then he
I
brings
know.
back to the Millennium
That's
House.
so sick. Lilbo texts him saying, "Is there any food left?" He's like, "Yeah, there is." He's like, "Can you bring them back?" So he stole food.
What do we think about the first match here, though? Hero Marine versus Crimson.
The feel-out game.
Totally.
Yeah, but Crimson special builds, sniper.
Well, it's
He
hard
did
to be.
say it was the secret weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, usually that means
Let's build
more
the
like
hype
somebody
up.
solid. I feel like it's either like Crimson is gonna try to like play pretty gritty, set up on multiple bases, like Cyril inspired everybody. They're like, all right, macro, it's the way it's done, or it's gonna be a sick all-in.
I hope it is. I hope it is a sick all-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think as far as Hero Marine, like the Hero Marine's skill in general, he should be winning against Crimson. It should be, the game that we see Hero Marine just take out pretty easily.
Yeah, but it's not all up to skill though. Every time, like if you were up to skill, you would have beat Apollo last time you played best of 3 against him, but he crushed you.
Yeah,
So.
Zerg. Yeah, that's the
Zerg
only
is
reason.
sick. That's why
the-
Crimson's going to do well, man.
That's the only reason.
So I don't know. I don't really have too many expectations on what we're going to see here. Maybe you guys do. I think
Hero
I'm
Marine crashing.
very open-minded to how this game's going to play out.
Now, if Germany wants to, keep on being, that huge favorites to take the second place, even though they kind of failed yesterday,
Yeah.
Hero Marine needs to take that first map win easily. Like, if it starts being hard to take out as a guy like Hero Marine playing for a great team,
Yeah.
playing quite a lot. I don't know if he's totally full time these days. I have no idea.
No,
actually.
he's always been school, I think.
Okay, cool. But
I'm pretty
still,
sure.
Hero Marine should take it in my opinion. And if he doesn't, then it starts to look bad again.
Yeah, he definitely underperformed yesterday compared to what he's capable of, for sure. Just looking
Yeah.
at some recent results.
He beat Lambo 2-0.
and Kung Fu Panda 3-0. That's actually pretty,
It's really
pretty
great
nice.
performance.
Hey, why isn't the MasterChef finals listed?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because he lost, right? He lost 3-2 to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, actually, yeah, beating Lambo and stuff, that's
time.
pretty impressive in terms
Yes.
of versus Zerg.
Yeah,
I think.
Lambo has been playing like a
Hero
madman.
Marine
Actually,
is-
I expected him to be in the team instead of Hero Marine, but
Yeah.
Hero Marine got voted in anyways. But beating Lambo, really great Zerg player, has been spamming the game ever since he came out.
Yeah, Hero Marine's always been very good against Zerg, though.
Yes.
Like, always been very good against Zerg. Just very, macro, mechanical focus.
Most Tyrants like Hero Marine that like to macro and take more bases and play longer games and they're good with, I guess, production and drops. Usually they're pretty solid against Zerg.
All right, well, we are loading into the first game of the evening, the last day of StarCraft action for group stages before we head into 2016 for NationWars 3. Orbital Shipyard is the opening match, and it is time to get crunk, boys. Let's do this. Orbital Shipyard. I'm hyped. Funker, I know you're hyped.
Of course, I'm always hyped to see TVZs. The Proby is really hyped too.
Hype.
Hype.
Make sure to send in your pictures to NW3, hashtag NW3. Let's do this.
In the bottom right of Orbital Shipyard, representing Germany, it is Hero Marine. And he needs to pick it up. And my phone is ringing.
Pick up your phone, bro.
Phone is ringing. Sorry.
Do not disturb me.
Talk.
His opponent
Who's that
starting
guy?
in the top side of the map, playing as the Blue Zerg. It is Crimson. Playing for New Zealand, of course.
Can you remember in WCS when my phone rang that one
Yeah,
time?
and you picked it up.
I picked it up.
And you
picked it
tried
up
to
during the
salvage
show.
the situation.
I did.
That was a pretty good
I
salvage.
I blamed
you
it on
pretend it was
Claris.
Claris?
I blamed it on Claris, but it was actually Tim from Twitch. He just called me in the middle of a show, and I forgot to put my phone on silent, so it just rang. So sick.
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man.
All right, so Hatchery first here for Crimson, and Come on, New Zealand. Come on.
Come on, Kiwis.
I would love it. I think, as much as I love the German team and Dario and Showtime are going to probably hate me for cheering on New Zealand, I think it'd be an epic story to see New Zealand win this. But there's obviously a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I'm really feeling Finland though. After yesterday's games, like winning 3 games, almost beating Korea. Are you kidding me? Like,
now
these guys are so sick.
Yeah, the story of Finland would be really terrible if in the end they just, they get a rematch against Germany and they get crushed like 4-0.
Actually, you know what's really funny? Like, towards the, I guess like a couple months back and stuff, when like or even like when French players were doing really well in WCS, a lot of people, French people in particular, were saying that France is the second best country after Korea, because like you can't even say that anybody else than Korea is the best in StarCraft. So a lot of people thought it was France, and then Germany started doing really well recently, particularly with Showtime, and then the hype shifted towards Korea.
Yeah.
But then we go into NationWars here. Poland did super well, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, Poland's the real deal," and stuff. And now, it was Finland yesterday that really impressed me and reminded everybody that Finland is not a country you should never overlook.
Yep. So no CC first for Hero Marine.
No, just Reaper expansion.
Interestingly enough,
openings.
yeah. Well, it's a map that you could go for CC first on, because you've got a pocket expansion, but he goes for the Reaper. And when you think about Hero Marine as a player, you're like, okay, he's the kind of guy that wants to show off his APM in general, just harass a little bit, gets a Zergling or two, dropping those mines in the middle line, maybe get a Zergling or two. Yeah, that's a fairly good start for Hero Marine. And that's the reason we don't see him do a CC first, I think. He wants to know what's going on the opposite side of the map and just start the tango of TVZ.
The tango of TVZ. Funker. You poet.
Yeah. Talk dirty to me.
Talk dirty to me.
Don't go full pig either. What do you make? You were still mining gas here. No, okay.
Yeah, so he's in double gas. Starport's down now too. So a couple of branches you have here, right? There's the natural Hellion Banshee. There's the Liberator opening. There's Medivac. There's quite a few branches from here you can go down.
Yeah, you could go for maybe Hellion drop.
Yeah, it looks Viking. Like Medivac. It could still be Liberator, I guess, right? But it looks like Medivac.
He has the gas to go for one Liberator. No, he's got to go for the drop. So
you could do a Liberator after, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Armory.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so Hellbat's Liberator push. Maybe a frontal one. So like you don't have to go with the Liberator.
But there is a Roach one coming in, so that is good.
Yeah.
But there's not that much, not many Queens out yet. Queens are pretty good at defending this, obviously, to be able to bring down the Medivac. But there's only one additional Queen to the 2 that are lava injecting.
Oh, you didn't make any overloads?
Crimson! No!
That's not the start you want.
No,
that's going to be such a big supply block, actually.
And he loses a couple of lings straight away, too, to the ones that are running back. This is actually pretty bad.
And good scan coming up.
Whoa, he drops double Evo to try and free supply to make 1 Roach?
No, I think he wants to go double Evo because he has no idea he's going to get pushed so hard. 4-5 Marines, 4 Hellbats, no units are out, and the Liberator is coming too.
How many Queens are there? Just 2?
Just 3, no, 3 total.
3 Queens.
But they're going to be missing cycles.
That will deal damage. That will deal damage quite a lot, obviously.
Not a good start here for New Zealand and Crimson.
Oh, can he pick it up? The Hellion? No.
I mean, that Medivac is doing so much healing here.
It won't die.
Can't even kill 1 single Hellbat. Finally, it goes down, but
all Queens go down or will go down, which means no injects now. The last Queen squeezes 1 out.
And no anti-air against Liberators that are surely coming.
And overproducing Roaches at this point, so he's going to have more than enough Roaches to deal with this.
Yeah, the Liberators behind this will have no counter. There's no Spore and no Queen.
Yeah, this is a bad start here for New Zealand.
And starting to roast drone, Korean barbecue style in the natural. In the main, it's been cleaned up, but the damage is already done. 42 SCVs against 36, and follow-up Liberator are going to do so much
very
damage.
Simple. It's such a simple move, this, and it is a little bit sad to see it not being defended. And with this Liberator coming in,
just go to the main, bro.
No drones there, mate.
Yes.
But sick micro on the Hellbats in the Medivac. That's a really good start for Germany.
He's being so careful with his Liberator. Just stick it over the full mineral line at this point. There's nothing here.
There's like no Queen in production. Not even. And he can't get the
so I'm gonna have to clean this up here for Crimson.
Oh, if you picked up on the fact that all those drones were, so stuck right there, you could have burnt everything.
It's so funny.
Okay, destroying his own drones with the corrosive bile, and a second liberator.
Okay, there's
now.
still no spores and queens, by the way, and there's 2 liberators now.
Yeah.
Sad
Crimson.
to say that Crimson may just die in a minute here. He might not be able to mine anywhere.
I think he's already dead, to be fair,
Well,
to be
yeah.
honest. Okay, 1 Hellbat dies, but the Liberator are still, saying no, you won't mine for either your natural or your third.
Yeah.
This one is getting kills.
It's getting a lot of kills.
Quite a lot.
A lot of kills here. 12 kills just on that Liberator. It's only just arrived. It is going to get taken out now. But this is a pretty bad start. I mean, 36 drones to 54 workers, and Hiromari's moving out to take his third. He's got his infrastructure down. He's building up an army behind this. Remember, this is all just simple harassment units, which have dealt 20, 30, 40 times their weight in damage here, and their cost in damage. It's a great opening for Germany.
Yeah, crippling damage being dealt, and the thing is, he didn't slip up with his macro either.
No.
Like, he's got 5 barracks, no reactor on the 4th and 5th though, but he should be adding it fairly soon. He's got tanks, he's got double upgrades, his base look amazing. I like Terrans that can do, like a really proper base where you can actually move around the buildings and everything. It's a perfect, flawless game.
Flawless
from
game,
Hiromarin.
and from this point, it's almost like Hiromari's playing Mortal Kombat, and his opponent's just like wobbling around, and
he's waiting for the fatality.
He's like, finish him. He's like, all right, let him. I'm playing StarCraft though. It's not quite a fighting game. I've got to build an army first, and then I'll go finish him. And that's what he's doing at this point. Just gonna build up off all these barracks and tanks production, and then he will move out soon once his upgrade's complete, and that's going to be where Crimson's going to have to find a miracle hold.
I thought you were more of a Street Fighter kind of guy, Sean.
But there is no
you could
finish.
stun. You stun.
You get a stun.
So it's like you play
Blanca,
stuns.
so that would be the part where you spam the electricity.
That's
against
the only thing he does. That's the only thing he
Oh,
does.
here we go again. Here we go again.
You're really bad at Street Fighter.
I'm not that bad.
Really bad. Really cheesy player. Really cheesy.
I'm a cheesy player for sure,
man.
Huh?
Yeah, but Toot's actually not that bad. The thing is
No,
it's
Toot
the
is really
same
good.
in any game, right? If you don't play it a lot, then you're not going to play a macro game, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
that yesterday against Innovation.
Yeah, that's
You
not
don't do
working.
that.
That's why he goes for the
So you're
cheese.
Zhuge and Toot is innovation?
Yeah, pretty much. And I tried to cheese the crap out of him.
Yeah. He's a Zhuge that would have tried to do a Roachling Bailing all in.
That's a great way for non-Street Fighter players to understand how I play Street Fighter.
Exactly. And double liberator, liberation zone over the natural.
That's actually kind of hard to get to because the Ravagers that get close are going to get shot anyway, even if they go in. So.
It works really well in tandem.
Yeah.
The liberators, that is. One is going to get taken out, but for the price of a roach and a queen, and he's not going to be able to defend. Actually, he's got a lot of roaches. Oh,
that's so sad. Actually, it took me a good couple of games to get used to hitting the Ravager the shots. Because I kept on missing. I was like, what's going on, see?
What?
Yeah, it's funny. Here's the finishing move, Funker, and they're getting filtered down the ramp. Corrosive Biles could save him, but a dodge outside of him should be enough to win this game and take Germany map #1.
And yeah, predictable result. GG. Hiromarin takes out Crimson, and he didn't have to, to push his skill or anything. He just did a simple build, executed pretty properly, and then just roll with it. Made
Easy
an army.
peasy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, good start. Good
Lemon
start.
Quizzy.
I'm assuming that New Zealand now resort to Mighty Kiwi rather than Petraeus. Just exhaust your options first and then go to Petraeus.
If the next map, I think it's all about the next map.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Does it? They're both Zergs. Why does it matter?
Yeah, because Petraeus wants to open on the map he prefers. Like if he doesn't like the next map, then why would he come out now? When he can come out third.
It's Orina.
I think we see
that could be a tricky Kiwi game.
Yeah?
You throw
Lerena
Mighty
Crest
Kiwi.
would be better as third.
Lerena Crest is a really good map for ZVT.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a tricky Mighty Kiwi game could come out on Arena. Some Nidus or it's pretty small distances, so like a Roach Ravager push or something like that could work. I wouldn't be expecting Mighty Kiwi to play a straight up game. He could, of course he can. But
Well, I mean, I think he will. I think
knitting and StarCraft.
a lot of people try to.
My sister knitted me a blanket, and it's really
She
nice.
needed you the sweater you were wearing.
No.
Right?
That poster is
That would
sick.
be sick, though, wouldn't it?
That
let's
poster
do
is
it.
sicker than the bottle.
Glenfiddich, cheeky glass of whiskey, mate.
At Rotterdam.
I love how
At Rotterdam.
Gaming TV. Hey, Gaming TV answered, by the way.
Oh, Glenn finished 12 years.
Very good choice.
Sick life. Here's another one. Dr. Dario ready to dissect New Zealand. Thank you very much, Borsey. Sending you a tweet, hashtag NW3. Warning, there will be hella biased tweets tonight during the NationWars.
Borsey!
Of course. Whoa, that's actually a lot of German
He
stuff.
painted his body.
Too bad I have to work. Hopefully games will start soon. Well, they have started, so good for you. And thank you very much for sending your tweets, guys. Keep them rolling, keep them coming. And that's what we like to look at in between games.
Arena, boys. Who is it going to be?
Yes, that's the next thing to
Le
see.
Mighty Kiwi.
Le Mighty
You think Mighty Kiwi?
Yeah. If you want to play a straight up game as Petraeus, you don't want to start with this one. I think you don't want to start with Urena. You want to start with something more more fitted to a standard macro game, which is Lariat Crest. And Urena, I don't know what to make of it for macro game. Because I feel it's really hard to attack as Terran on this one. Like, you can go massive Doom drops, you can go Liberators and everything, drops and everything, but if you want to go from that, little path, you get shredded by roaches and ravagers.
Even Innovation yesterday kind of struggled to break through in a game where he was supposed to be ahead, so, yeah, can be tricky.
It's a tricky map. Like, I wouldn't mind maybe not a straight-up all-in, because I think Euromarine is going to be anticipating it, and just, build around the fact that if he gets Nidust, for instance, he needs units. That's the only thing. He needs units that can target down the Nidust when it comes out. So Liberator is not that good because you can't target down the network. But maybe like a 1-1, just massive Roach Ravager 1-1 on this map could work.
Do you think that the build that Hero Marine did last game is like his one main build that he uses most of the time? Because if that's the case, then that makes him very predictable, and people might just try to hard counter. If you get a lot of roaches and then do an attack, you just not only defend his L, but push, but then you counter attack and
he opened up very similar. Like, that game we saw was a very similar S-style to how he played in Heart of the Swarm too. There was like a lot of Hellbat pushes into 3CC.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's pretty close to his core opening as you could get. I don't think there'd be too much variation.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like, as he said, when you have your core build as a first time Hellbat push, like the first thing you do, the first interaction that you have with your opponent, the Reaper step aside, but first interaction is a Hellbat push, then you can get blind countered like really easily, and it's not like it's bad to throw in a Roach War in any way.
Alright, here we go. Mighty Kiwi or Petraeus? You guys said Mighty Kiwi.
Yeah. Will you say Petraeus?
No.
No, I will not.
You will not.
Because I trust you boys. I trust my bros.
My bros. Mighty Kiwi. Mighty Kiwi. Mighty Kiwi.
See.
All right.
Freaking good.
So, yeah, the next one going to be Aurania then. Mighty Kiwi's going to come out and do a Serral. Watch this.
That would be sick.
It would be sick.
I see a...
Sounds more like wishful thinking than anything, though.
yeah, I'm a wishful thinking type of guy.
Usually your wishes come through most of the time, don't they?
You're
a simple man.
Only sometimes they come true. Not all the time. I've got a lot of wishes.
All right, Arena is going to be our map here. 45% TVZ. Well, I guess that hasn't been that many games. I wish actually we could see the exact numbers.
The only thing you can know is that it grows every single broadcast that we do. We've got more and more and more
We're
games.
getting stronger and
stronger. These stats are growing in strength.
We're expanding.
All right, Funker, guess what? Intros time!
Woohoo! Top left on Urena. Is he gonna be the new Serral for New Zealand? I don't know. But his name, damn sure it is Mighty Kiwi.
Mighty bloody Kiwi.
I'm gonna do a Funka intro.
Yo.
Bottom left on Arena. He's the Red Terran. Of course, it's Hero Marine. I like how you always say like the position first without saying anything before. So top left, bottom right. You don't say indie or anything. You cut straight to the chase.
I do sometimes. But I like to add a little bit of flavor. It's not just Mighty Kiwi. It's like, can it be the new Serral? Try to throw some of that next time.
All right, thanks for that.
I will teach you. No worry. Hatchery first from Mighty Kiwi. Nothing out of the ordinary here. And once again, Reaper build from Hero Marine. And there's room for a reactor next to it. So he wants to go into this fairly quickly.
Where that bull at?
But at
There we go.
It's here.
So he's all-inning, isn't he?
Already we know.
All right. What's the population of New Zealand?
No idea.
Serious?
Couple millions?
How many? Come on, both of you guess. I know because I googled it, but you guys can guess.
4 millions.
4 million, he says. You say
7.
7. It is 4.4, I think. There you go. In 2013, 4.4.
I need to reproduce more. Actually, yeah, these are all numbers.
Yeah, they were from 2013. But I don't think they took, plus 2 million people in over 2 years.
Small place.
You're an expert on population
It's
now?
kind of small. I mean,
Introduction in population.
What's the population
worldwide.
of Paris?
Only you think so.
Of Paris?
Yeah.
It's about
2.2.
Yeah, but
Wow.
doesn't take everything in.
Yeah, it's probably way more.
So you'd say like 3?
Yeah.
3.5?
Yeah, well, like it's
All
in
round
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand.
It's inside the walls,
Okay.
Inside the walls of Paris, but Paris is a little bit wider than this.
Okay. So very close to the size of New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got circling speed on the way for Mighty Kiwi. Just throw the bomb in, man.
Yeah.
Just disrupt that mineral line.
I wish somebody would, calculate the amount of mineral that you miss for every single drone that gets hit.
Well,
Yeah, it depends how far they go as well.
Yeah. I think it's not that big.
We take some sick calculations.
It's going to be something like 17.7
Some counting
minerals.
cards material there.
Yeah.
Roach Warren's down pretty early.
All right, that's my boy.
Getting back into gas
Still
now as well.
mining gas. Here
so
we go.
Roach Ravager through this middle, nice small map.
If you want to go Roach Ravager, you need a second extractor, right?
True, yes.
Maybe
so
a Roach
maybe just
Ling.
Roach Ling, yeah.
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 Can't you go for just like a very few Roach and Ravager and Massling?
The thing is like to build a Roach, it's 25 gas, and then the Ravager is 75, so it's kind of expensive.
100 apiece.
Yeah,
So-
100
one
apiece.
Ravager.
Oh, tries to
nice
get the slot,
block.
but no,
Oh
he
my
scouts
God.
the Roach Warren.
Even gets out for a moment.
Good scout there, and Bunker coming down immediately. Obviously, this is a very unusual Roach Warren timing.
Hero
Is he
Marine
going
is
to go for
fighting.
it anyway?
Hero Marine is fighting his demons right now. There's a devil on his shoulder saying, drop that third CC, you know you want to.
Yeah.
And then the Andrew is like, no, you're getting all in, drop down bunkers.
Who does he listen to?
Whoa. Oh.
I think we're not going to see a commitment
Yeah.
here. Yeah, because he got scouted, he's like, whatever, man. Oh well, and goes back to drone production anyway.
Yeah, drones and a third hatchery. And he's gonna, push Hero Marine to build a lot of defensive units. So, honestly, that's not as bad as before, considering that your tank is not as, worthless as before for attack. So, it's not as bad as before, but still, the double upgrades are gonna be delayed. The third command center is gonna be delayed as well. So, maybe he can make something work out of this. The Hellions are fighting against Lynx at the other side of the map.
Yeah, they're scouting Hellions here that see no Roaches pouring across the other side of the map, so that third CC you can imagine being dropped very shortly, because he knows that it's not an all-in anymore, and there it is. But he still has a flying Liberator.
Yep.
Which actually has a good overload position, sees that third CC immediately. But here comes what could be a lot of damage, because there are no Ravagers, it's only Queens, and there's no Spores. So the way to fight this is to get an angle on the Liberator, if you can with the Queen, but it doesn't look like you can.
Yeah, I think he has one.
Maybe.
I think this spot is not.
Okay.
I think he's just going to go in with 2 queens or 3, yeah. Try and take out this guy.
Yeah. He's going to lose a
He's
queen
going to
for
fight
it.
head on with the Queens then.
He might lose 2.
Whoa. I think he could have stayed. Isn't it worth it to kill 2 Queens for a Liberator, you think?
If he can, just clear out the overloads, maybe. You know, like get a queen, couple drones, and then take out all the overloads. And
Yeah, if you see somebody be very reluctant to make spores as well, and you can get a good amount of liberators, then you can come back later and do more damage. And in the main tree, looks like Mighty Kiwi doesn't want to get that spore.
Yeah, I hate dealing with Liberators personally. It's a little difficult.
yeah, and also the fact that he didn't want to lose it is that he wants to get a reactor right now. So if he gets 2 liberators, they work amazingly well intended. So you can RS 2 different bases, and I think that's what he's gonna go for.
Yeah.
Or if you get 2 at the same position but slightly placed differently, you can cover both liberators, and then suddenly it gets really hard to get rid of them without Ravagers.
Yeah, and again, set up on the third, set up in the main. Got decent position on the main this time. Go on.
Can he get it?
Hitting the
he should
west,
be able
hitting
to.
the east.
I
the
think
liberators.
I don't know why he's
maybe
not.
it's
His
like
Queen's.
a broken spot maybe for liberators.
No, he can hit that. I don't know what he's doing. He's not doing this very well, though. Ah, Mighty Kiwi!
38 drones to 49 SCVs.
He missed again.
Missed the crosshair Biles.
Mighty Kiwi.
He's
It's
struggling
time to
just
drop
with the
down a
liberators.
guidance, mate, and go for it, because droning up, I don't think we'll get you back in this game.
See?
Did
Yeah, he could have hit that from the very beginning.
Yeah, and that's like 3 or 4 mineral patches, just useless for the last minutes. That's rather bad.
He's definitely struggling with the dealing with these liberators, having to build mass drones all the time as well to recover all his losses. I mean, throughout this game, he's lost 12 drones just to these liberators.
Creep is not pushed so far away, and I like that Hero Marine just scans consistently. Second base, the main. Now he scouted between the second and third to know how many drones were they on the third base, and he also got a glimpse of the army. So he knows everything he needs to.
Look at the workers, though. I mean, it's pretty bad. 45 drones now at this stage of the game against 58 SCVs. And the thing is, as well, is very shortly, Hero Marine will be looking to move out. He'll probably go in. Do you think he fights in the choke point? Because his tanks can be very difficult to reach to?
I don't know. In my own experience, I felt like it was almost always good for Zerg when you go through that choke point, because the concave that you can set up can be quite deadly.
But the Liberator and tanks, though.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But Ravager shots can be really deadly there.
And look at this. Mighty Kiwi is still not at an ideal drone count. He's adding on units because he knows very shortly an attack's going to come. So he's feeling pressured to build units, but he needs much more of an economy than this at this point. And he's definitely struggling here. And can't help but feel that Petraeus has got a lot of work to do today.
Yeah. He said it during the interview. He needed those boys to score a few points, but it's not looking like this. He's way behind on upgrades, behind on army supply, behind on workers. Everything is going Hero Marine's way. He's gonna go with that choke point, and I think it's not gonna even matter who's favored in that kind of situation. There's just too much for Hero Marine.
There's a lot, the better upgraded units here. There's more of them. Better positioning potentially here from the tanks as well that are going to be very difficult to reach to.
Interesting. He's gonna go for bailing. I think he's going for melee upgrades though.
Yeah.
So he's got 5 tank evacs, and now he's gonna get demolished.
And now you just got to kind of edge your way through this position and then spread out actively on the other side once Creep is gone.
I think he's waiting for Hero Marine to move out a little bit too far, maybe overextend. But I don't think Hero Marine is ever going to let that happen. He's just going to stay there, sieged, keep on kiting.
Yeah, Bailing speed not ready yet either. He's going to bunny hop these tanks to probably the left-hand side, just left of those Marines. Or that looks like a pretty sick position to me. But he's going to come on this right-hand side and he's got to fight. He's got to defend this.
And the target fire, let's see on the Baneling. No, he gets every single tank in the medivac, goes back behind the Liberator. It's been stellar game once again from Hero Marine. Not a single mistake has been done.
Yeah, and he's walking all over Mighty Kiwi.
And
this is it. There's a lot more units that come through, and this is going to be a 2-0. Very easy start here for Germany for Hero Marine. GG is called, and he is good enough to beat out the 2 weaker players from New Zealand, and all eyes and hopes turn now to Petraeus, which is almost always going to be the way that this was going to play out. But well done from Hero Marine. Good warm-up, good practice to take on now a better Zerg as well.
Yeah. Well, Hero Marine is getting into the rhythm and everything. He's got momentum with him.
Yeah.
He played 2 pretty good games. He showed some variance in his build, which means that Petraeus can't be can't feel perfectly fine of going for a blind counter, because he showed that he could do stuff differently from game to game.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good position for Hero Marine, but at the same time he's going to be playing on the Relic Crest. Not a bad map for Zerg, not at all. Not in ZVT.
Yeah.
Even in ZVP we saw who was it? Cyril playing really, really well on this map.
You know what's coming up, right? Petraeus versus Germany.
Yeah, Petraeus versus Germany.
Petraeus with 2 lives against the entirety of Germany. 3 players plus 1 revive.
I know, and that's so difficult because obviously Hero Marine's no slouch, so it's not going to be an easy game. Maybe Petraeus can be favored in this matchup versus Hero Marine, but then you've got a Tilo Zerg versus Zerg Snipe that could appear out of nowhere. You've then got Showtime, who's an expert in this matchup, and then a revive of one of those 3 anyway. It's very, very difficult, and this is going to require maybe a cup of coffee for Petraeus right now.
Yes.
6:45 a.m., cup of coffee. Let's take on an entire nation with my keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be on point. You know, it's like I mentioned, one player can carry a team, but they need to be playing their A game. And Petraeus, I hope he did his conditioning well.
Yeah,
he definitely sounded a little bit extra cheeky in the interview with Drogo.
Yeah,
but he's gonna have to play well for sure here.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see if he can do it. Obviously, the odds are against him, but we'll find out. We are going to go to a very quick 2-minute break as always, and when we come back, it's time for Petraeus versus Germany.
Hello everyone and welcome back to NationWars 2-0 in favor of Germany against New Zealand, and the game is live. And since I have Petit Drogo next to me, I think he's gonna do the intro.
Top right of the map, this is Mouse Aeromarine, the Terran player. But why was this introduction not so hyped, you ask? Because at the top left of the map, this is Mark fucking Petraeus playing for New Zealand. Petraeus. Love that guy.
Okay. He kept the best intro just for the one that he likes the most. That's
yes.
Kind of biased, but
yes,
we'll be okay with it. So you're a ZVT expert, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Larry Crest. Talk to me.
Close position. One player taking a gas to make a Reaper. The other guy is going out first. And he's gonna make a pull before the gas. So it seems like almost at the same time, so it doesn't really matter.
So interestingly enough, I thought it would have been a map so on which maybe Hero Marine would have got 3-per Rax Reaper. It's a decent map for it. It's not the best one, but it's a decent map for it. We've seen Marine Lord using it on this map.
It seems like 3-Rax Reaper as a build you need to practice a lot, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe your main just doesn't feel comfortable making 3-Rax Reaper because it's kind of technical.
Yeah, you need to be able to recognize instantly which kind of fight you can take and which angle you need to attack from, and the number of mines to use.
And I mean, he did Reapers into Aliens like for a number of years in Out of the Swarm, so it's still viable in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah.
So why not rocks with your fundamentals? But it's taking a second cast right now, so it's most likely gonna be the really standard Terran opening that we've seen Innovation and a lot of Terran do these days. But what is Petraeus gonna do?
Yeah, that's the question. Everybody wants to see what Petraeus has in store for us because he's the last hope for New Zealand. Mighty Kiwi and Crimson have been taken out pretty easily by Hero Marine, but that's another kind of Zerg player that we have here. It's freaking Mackenzie, you know?
Yeah, this is a guy that went super far into WCS and he's a really good player. So I hope he's gonna be able to take this game. #full bias. But we'll see. Marine was really solid these last two games.
Yeah.
So he's kind of on a roll right now in ZVT.
Yeah. Do you play him often?
Hero Marine?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I mean, he just makes liberators in TVP. A lot of them.
He liberates people?
Yeah, liberates people quite often. He's really good at that.
So, will we see a tech lab? Koka wants to see a tech lab, that's why he's boxing next to the barracks! Do it, damn it! No! He's gonna be building a marine and a starport next to it. So we'll see the follow-up, maybe Liberator. Yeah, we know he likes it, so...
Yeah, we've seen so many Liberators opening these days.
But we've also seen Medivacs, and considering he's building 2 mines, I'm guessing we're gonna see a mine drop.
Yeah, a good old little mine drop. I guess it's to mix things up a little bit.
Double mine, marine, Roach Warren coming from Petraeus, and he's taking the 3rd base in the bottom. So he doesn't want Hero Marine to be able to pressure the 3rd on the north side too easily.
Yeah, I really feel like if he was going to take the over 3rd, it would be too easy to abuse.
Yeah.
But he's making a Roach Warren now, and I don't think it's that useful with his mine drop. So already a little thing going for Hero Marine's way. Would you agree?
Spore in the production tab. Really well thought by Petraeus. He's going to have at least a tad bit of detection in his mineral lines, which is really important in that kind of stuff. But keep in mind, those kind of drops and mines in general can be at that moment in the game when you have APM to spare on the micro of the mine. You can do amazing stuff. You know, while targeting quite a lot, so the mine doesn't go off and maybe the Zerg forgets about it. We'll see about that. He boosts the Medivac on the natural, and he's gonna try to get a proper positioning, but that mine's gonna get taken out before firing.
Yep, really well played by Petraeus, which has he's trying to trigger that mine. He has 3 roaches, yeah. So Petrus is not gonna take. Maybe he's gonna lose a roach. Igomarine's gonna go for it.
Oh, transfuse!
680.
Pretty good. So yes, like Petrus right now, he didn't take any damage, but he still invested quite a lot to defend just 2 mines. So he made 3 roaches, a lot of zerglings. So the game is still quite even. Even though this pressure didn't seem to do anything.
It's not too bad for Pitreus or Hero Marine. Like, yeah, he didn't deal that much damage. He's gonna get an overall. That's always a nice pickup considering it's supply blocking Pitreus. So it's pretty good. Can he get proper micro on the Zerglings? Like, if he can take out all these Zerglings for free, just with the aliens, then starting to shift a little bit towards Hero Marine, because Pitreus will not feel comfortable if he doesn't have, you know, that 16 Ling set. So
this Widowmine is still alive on the ramp.
Yeah,
I feel like Petrus is kind of feeling the pressure, not getting rid of that immediately, because I feel like this is a mine that he's gonna get another kill.
Yeah, well, he will if he doesn't think about, you know, sending some corrosive bile at the actual positioning. See, once again a drone getting taken out. 57 drones, speaking about that, 57 drones to 49 SCVs, while the third CC is getting placed to the third base of our town player. And as far as upgrade goes, pretty equal, but only 1 upgrade for Pitreus. Well, it's a double upgrade strategy for Hero Marine.
Only 1 upgrade for Pitreus. We've seen, 2 upgrades.
Now he's losing the second one.
That was pretty weird, because we've seen a lot of double or even triple evolution chamber in the last CVT we casted. So it would have been interesting to see solo with chamber just to mix in. Oh, run by. There's no unit to defend. 5 drones going down.
And a little bit more. 7. Okay. Can he get some more? He was probably microing something else.
Yeah, maybe killing a few Zergling, but do you think it's worth it? I think it was worth it. Resilience wouldn't have gotten a lot of value. This is Roger, I feel like.
I think it's a good. It was a good call from Hero Marine to just throw these aliens. As you said, Hellbats are not going to do anything. Aliens in that stage are not going to do anything either, and they are so micro-intensive to be useful in a fight that when you're already microing tanks and Marines, aliens are just a dead weight in general. So yeah, pretty good call, and you know, Laria Crest is just a perfect map to do those kind of, you know, random run-bys with aliens. That is a pretty huge oversight from Hero Marine, not having vision on the rocks. And now he knows, but it's already a little bit too late. Pitreus is going to crush that third base, repositioning the tank on the high ground, so corrosive bile not hitting that much, and those roaches and Ravagers are dealing quite a lot of damage, but the Ravagers are a little bit exposed. Yeah, and he's going to get crushed.
I wasn't so sure about your call. Like, I was looking at Hero's Mine Army and GG.
Already GG? What was going on?
It was
was there a drop at some point? I think I've seen 5 drones getting taken out.
It was just a terrible fight from Petrus. Like, it was his timing, but Hero Marine had enough, and that's it.
Yeah, no +1 defense. That's you know, quite a anticlimactic kind of game.
Yeah, it was. But I guess no +1 armor really was a big deal in that fight.
That makes a whole lot of difference against Marines in general. Like they feel like you can feel like they are not dying, just not dying literally against Marines when they have +1 armor. So Hero Marine on a roll.
Yeah, on a roll, and now he's going most likely to have he's going to have to face Petrus again.
Yeah, but don't you think, like, I don't know, Petrus' strategy was. I'm really awkward about that GG timing. I think if your only goal is just going for Roach Ravager and then, you know, get cleaned out, and I'm pretty sure he was taking some damage in the background, but yeah, let's not talk about it. Some more tweets coming in. I bet with Piggy and Bart relaxing and watching NationWars 3 after a cold winter walk. Well, I'm really happy for you. Hope you're spending a really great night.
It's Christmas already.
Yep. Yeah. NationWars 3 and Christmas. Go Germany from the US. Stefan has selected the nation that he wants to go with and wants to see advance today. And yeah, Germany has a legit shot of making it through.
Keep sending cat picture. We're loving it here at the gaming studio.
You like cats?
Yeah, I like cats.
Does it bring joy to your face?
Yeah, this is why. This was one.
Show us. Like, think about a cat and look at the camera at the same time. See? It's perfect. works really well. So we're waiting on the confirmation from the New Zealand team of who's gonna be the next player, the revived player. We'll know in 16 seconds, but
Yeah,
we expect Petraeus.
Yeah. Like if we keep Petraeus, this is gonna be Petraeus. Can Petraeus have a soul kill? I think so. Calling the 4-3 right now.
You're calling the 4-3?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay. And Petraeus coming back. Not a huge surprise. But what would be a huge surprise is Petit Drogo calling a 4-3 reverse all kill and this happening.
Yeah.
Like Yogo yesterday. Did you see Yogo's prediction of Finland versus Korea?
No, I've seen it. He was he almost
He was
lived the
almost a
dream.
genius.
Yeah, almost.
And then he was a fool.
Yeah, well, I mean, still.
For those of you who weren't there yesterday, Yogo, one of the French casters, was getting pretty annoyed about the fact that all his predictions were bad. So he went for 4-0 for Finland, in favor of Finland against Korea. And then he started with a 3-0. And everybody was like, oh my God, he's from the future, he knows, you know? It's like exactly like Back to the Future. He looked at the little notebook and he saw that Finland would beat Korea 4-0. But in the end, reversal kill happened. Petraeus against Hero Marine, Game 2, the rematch. And this time on Prion Terraces.
Yep. Pretty hyped.
Pretty hyped?
Yeah, we're gonna see the first game of a reversal kill. Yeah. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the reversal kill that obviously is gonna happen.
Yeah, like we're gonna make history here. Easily.
You're gonna make history.
Oh. Petraeus is gonna make history.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Prion Terraces, as you can see on screen, fairly balanced map in the matchup. I'm gonna go do the intro for Hero Marine, and then you can, get hyped up for the reversal kill of the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
In the top left, playing for Team Germany, the national Mannschaft, is really close from a whole kill. It is Hero Marine. 3-0 on the board.
But the guy that is truly gonna do an all kill at the bottom right of the map, this is Petraeus, playing for New Zealand, the Truth Gaming. Yeah, because, you can't say Hero Marine is gonna do an all kill while Petraeus is gonna do it. You shouldn't lie to the viewers like that.
Yeah, I shouldn't lie to the viewers. I agree. I'm sorry, Drogo.
Okay, so
it's easier to say Drogo because when I say Petit Drogo, but I'm casting in English, I feel like I put an accent on your nickname that I shouldn't be doing.
Well,
but once again, you don't give a damn.
Yes, I don't really care. It will be weird to just blurt out Petit Drogo.
Petit Drogo
in the middle of an English cast.
Yes.
Anyway, do you think that Petraeus is gonna go for the same kind of timing here with Roach Ravager? Because this time he's gonna have yellow minerals, so he's gonna have more stuff. With more stuff, you can win games. When you're supposed to have more stuff. Does that make sense? This was a pro gamer insight right here.
Yeah, the total pro gamer insight. That's why we brought you to the to the broadcast.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, you make it definitely a better experience. Thank you, Drogo. Reaper opening once again from Hero Marine, always going for this one. And as you said, you can go for a Roach Ravager on this map. It is pretty nice to do this. Really close rush distances. But also the layout of the map can be kind of tricky for a Zerg. You need to have both high ground vision and just in general a lot of units, because if you're Hero Marine, I think on this map you rush tanks quite fast because you want to be safe.
I mean, yeah, the layout is pretty hard. It's easy to put tank in defensive position, but that's why David made this map with 2 yellow minerals bases. So then the Zerg player can have a lot of money. So I mean, truly a genius made this map because
your boy David.
Yeah, I can't call him my boy. I can't just say that to everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah,
your boy is Petraeus in this game.
Yeah, obviously. And Petraeus is gonna use the layout of the map to perfect effects. But as I say that, let's give credit to Hero Marine doing quite a lot of work with his Reaper. Killed 2 Zerglings.
Throwing a bomb. Getting 2 kills.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying with his Reaper. It's a really good skill to have.
Yep. Reaper is a good skill to have. I agree. Used to be carriers in Brood War, but now it's Reapers with the tiny pump. Yeah, the K10 something, I think it's called. Factory getting lift off, used on the reactor.
I don't know if we saw it, but I think Petraeus tried to take a third base, but the Reaper denied it.
Cheeky Reaper!
Yeah, see, Petraeus has a lot of minerals in the bank. He wanted to take that the third base in the gold.
Did he kill the drone?
I don't know.
Can we do a shift L?
No, he didn't.
See? Just getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah,
Mate.
I got ahead of myself, but he's still denying the third with a single Reapers. It's sick.
It is sick. It is sick. And even the drone is just getting stuck and behind the Nasmatic Queen. Can he get the drone? No.
But will the Reaper survive?
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
He will. And he's getting joined by the 2 first Hellions. And what is he using the factory for? Oh, yeah, see? Tech Lab already to make some tanks, probably. And third command center, he needs to fight back and take himself. You know, those yellow mineral. They're really good.
Yeah. But the opening of Hero Marine is the really safe opening that Innovation was doing constantly yesterday. Yep. So loading from the best, I'm assuming, and this means that he's gonna have a lot of tank really early on. So the rush for Roger timing we talked about may not be too effective.
Yeah, we might see a Zergling drop in the main. Like as we see, there's an Evo chamber getting built. Some Zerglings next to an Overlord. I think the pieces of the puzzle make sense now. Yes, Overlord Cocoon and some Zerglings into the main to just disrupt with the, you know, once again pretty calm game from Hero Marine's perspective. You know, he's not getting pushed away. He's not getting attacked. He's not getting disturbed, and it's gonna change now with all Zerglings getting into the main. Only 5 though.
Because Hero Marine getting a bit unlucky. He was you know, shift clicking with his Liberator to kill the Overlord on his bases, but he didn't kill the one that was gonna drop his main first. So this might do a lot of damage. I mean, if Petrus is just chilling with his Overlord.
Yeah, you know, Overlord and chill.
Reporting for action.
Okay, and it's gonna drop 5 Zerglings while pushing with some roaches into the main.
Drop Zergling and chill.
Yep, easy peasy.
With 3 Marines, will that be enough?
No, they're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, he can kill the Zergling, but...
You know, defensive liberation zone on this one, and obviously pulling the boys to defend that attack.
Yeah, so this is definitely annoying. This is not game-ending or game-changing damage, but this is putting pressure on Hero Marine, and you're not used to that as a turn player in early game CVT. So
yeah.
It's just shifting the momentum towards Petrus a little bit, I feel like, especially if he keeps just on dropping, you know.
And that's what he's gonna do. And Liberators don't kill Overlords really fast, so he'll be able to drop those Zerglings before dying. Pretty cool move coming from Petrus. This one is not gonna deal as much damage as before.
This one, Hero Marine is prepared. Brought back his Hellion to deal with that effectively.
And apparently Hero Marine is not innovation, and it does not leave a single Zergling taking out 8 SCVs. So good for our German player. Keep in mind, one of these teams, Germany or New Zealand, is gonna get eliminated from NationWars 3, and right now it's looking amazingly good for Germany and really bad for New Zealand. Can Petrus make the comeback? Petit Drogo thinks he can. Tell us on social media, use the hashtag NW3, and tell us who you think will advance to the losers final against Finland. The totally random team that appeared out of nowhere and told us, like, you know, guys, we were pretty good in Heart of the Swarm, and we are keeping on playing this way in Legacy of the Void. Really interesting finish team.
Yeah, pretty sick performance by them yesterday, and Petrus is not gonna go for a big timing because we see a Hive on the way. Pretty fast Hive.
Really fast Hive. Well, I mean, we've seen 530 Hives. That's a 7 minutes.
I've seen faster, but I've seen a lot slower too. This is a good Hive timing. And the creep spread is also pretty good, so I don't know. I like Petrus' position. Yeah.
Alright.
Might not have the greatest supply on Earth, but he's gearing up for a good technology.
And on a totally unrelated subject, I like the way the creep behaves on this map. See, with the tiny holes inside of it, and you can see the yellow bone.
A lot of people hate that on Reddit, you know.
Hate that?
Yeah, like every 2 days you have a thread about why is there a hole in my creep?
But you know, Reddit. Reddit is a special community.
Like, why? It's ugly now. And I mean, I never noticed that myself, that there was a hole in it.
Are you playing on, perfect, highest settings?
No, I actually play on the lowest possible.
Yeah, that's why. That's why you don't see it, I think.
But anyway, both players are kind of chilling right now.
Yeah, it's a chill game, It's like, dropping Zerglings and chill, building a 4th TC and chill, like just liberate some zones and wait for it. The only problem that I see is that Hero Marine is just finishing up with his armory right now. He could have been already like 15 or 20 seconds in for his 2-2. He didn't wait that long after the armory finished, but for such a passive game, I think he could have done better.
Another thing is that, and I'm just comparing him to Marine Lord, because as we faced the game, Marine Lord was doing the same thing, getting the same upgrades, but he was dropping a lot too. Because the Zerg player doesn't have a lot of tools to deal with dropship. Like, you can prevent them from doing damage, but you can't catch them. Okay, so Hero Marine is doing right now, doing some creep. Wait, Mavericks.
Yeah, I think he got mad at you. How do you think I can handle just, double frontal attack? Drop onto the Zelnaga on the in the north, and just a little bit of creep duty for 8 or 10 Marines, just getting rid of it while taking a force command center. He should take the base on the left side, but it's getting pooped on. There's an Overlord on the 4th base, and already Ultralisk in the production tab. He needs to go fast, and I'm thinking it's already a little bit too late for Hero Marine.
I'm also thinking the same. This Ultralisk is gonna have the greatest upgrade on Earth, because it's only 1-1 in the melee category. But still, they're gonna have that upgrade that gives +4 armor to Ultralisk, and they're pretty strong once they have that.
Yep, they are. So Hero Marine is pushing right now throughout the map and trying to get some damage done before the Ultras are out, but they're already here. No Chitinous platings yet. And as you said, 1-1 is not enough, but in a few seconds it's gonna be +5 defense, +6 defense actually, Ultralisk.
+6, but also Petrus army, he has Queens and Infestors and Buys. And he's known for his late game control, so take a look at this.
First Fungal getting a few Marines, but now Ultralisk on the run, trying to get some... You see, Ultras die before Chitinous plating, and Chitinous plating is going to be over in 7 seconds. It's so bad from Petraeus. He attacked literally 15 seconds too early.
And also didn't transfuse all that well. I was upping up his ability to control the late game, but this wasn't the greatest fight from Petraeus.
What's going on, Petit Drogo?
But don't worry, it's 5 more
Where's the reverse soul kill?
Yeah, but these 6 more Ultralisk are gonna get healed until the Terran army is dead. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he's not pushing really fast, but he's transitioning. Hero Marine, that is, with 4 ghosts. He's gonna be able, if he doesn't lose his entire army when the 4 or 5 Ultralisk come in, he's gonna be able to deal with Ultralisk. I would like to see that, actually. I know on paper ghosts should be the answer against that, or Liberators maybe, but if he doesn't lose his army, and he's actually pulling back right now, really smart decision by Hero Marine.
Yeah, Hero Marine, like just playing according to game plan. I didn't like the 5th base, alright, it's time to go home, I went for my ghost. Really good play by Hero Marine. Like a lot of players, when they kill a big army, they're like, okay, time to win the game now, when you get crushed by the Remax of the Zergs. So Hero Marine understanding very well what he's supposed to do.
Can we take a look at the unit stat, so we can know how many tanks he has, how many ghosts? 5 tanks, 4, 5, 6, 7 ghosts now, 22 marauders. I think his army is pretty decent against what he has. Still, Ultralisk are really good. Les vachettes, as we call them in French. Ultras are still really potent, but there is an army that is, able to do stuff.
And it's a big run-by.
That's interesting.
The crackling run-by, as scary as ever.
Oh, good block on the natural. If the links would have gone to the main and natural, it would have been way harder. Oh, they got a break-in.
Click on the burr curve and click on the go. Oh, well,
even the ghost would have been a really great pickup for the Zergs, I think. And at the same time, Petraeus moving in for the 4th base, and he's totally out of position. Hero Marine, what is going on? Reversal kill hype. Is that the moment? Oh, the Planetary Fortress didn't die. EMPs and Ghost Snipe. Hero Marine.
Petraeus, but 37 SCP went down to all of the run-bys.
That is nasty.
That is
so nasty.
Hero Marine, all that's left now is his army. He has a really good army, so maybe he can win the game with that, but if he doesn't, I'm really concerned about this chest.
Remember mules, bro. Mules on goat base. Even though it's not as good as before.
No, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. It was really retarded before.
It used to be pretty good.
It used to be really, really strong. So now, as Petit Drogo told you, he's got that army to work with, and I think he has a shot.
Yeah, but not only does he need to snipe the Ultralisk, he needs to EMP all of his queens.
Yes, he does. The snipes are gonna come in. First bungles, And a lot of target fire going onto the Ultralisk, but they don't die! They're not dying, man!
They got healed so much, even though he tried to snipe all of them.
Yeah, this is nasty.
Yeah, Petraeus got this.
Yeah.
This time he didn't mess up on his healing, and he just... You know, this was a big army from Aeromarine with a lot of ghosts, but this
And once again, run by in the background. Some Zerglings took out the orbital on the third, and yeah, that's all she wrote. Aeromarine is gonna drop a map, and Petraeus, well, is making us believe.
Yes.
Are you a believer? You are.
What's that question? Obviously, I'm
You're
a
the
believer.
biggest believer of them all.
GG.
GG. Well played, Mackenzie.
Yeah. Well played.
Well played.
Met some Ultralisk.
Yeah.
Then some Crackling. Use them effectively. And
Run bys with them.
Yeah,
Use Ultralisk. Not dying Ultralisk to win the game, take the fights, and, you know, just roll with it. The Vachettes are pretty strong in TVZ, and pretty strong with this one. Really great game from Petraeus in the end. He's taking out Aeromarine for the first time. Aeromarine took out Crimson, Mighty Kiwi, and Petraeus in game 1, but in a rematch, our New Zealand player just took it all, and is still the last hope. He still needs to go through 3 players in a row. And once again, a cat.
Yeah, like, it's pretty good. Keep him coming.
Keep him coming. He likes him.
Everybody loves them here, not only me.
Nice Sunday evening watching SC2 and NationWars waiting for Finland's match. Go Cyril, all kill. That would be pretty sick. Oh, what about dogs?
Nah, you. Look at the only likes. It's from Rotterdam.
I like doggies. I like dogs. Star Wars and StarCraft. That's how it's supposed to be. We can see Yoda in the background. Somebody is watching on a tablet.
Just NationWars 3. Yeah, that's all you need.
Go Germany, we believe in you. Best of luck from Berlin. Well, it's looking pretty good for you guys.
Happy Christmas, guys. You.
Yeah, there's no way to translate this. Translate this. It's just a random expression. Just, you know, just give us the best or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Give it your best, guys.
You know, it speaks for itself. So 3-1 in favor of Germany. Aeromarine is already you know, at last he's down. Thanks to Petraeus playing an amazing game on Prian Terraces. Now we're waiting to to know who's going to be the next German player. Who do you think that will be?
I don't know. Like, I feel like both Chilo and Showtime have a decent shot. But
And now if I say Dust Towers.
I would send Showtime, I think, on Dust Towers.
Showtime on Dust Towers?
You know, like, you have a good map in ZVP, like, it might not happen every time, so might as well send Showtime. Because Showtime has shown that he has a pretty good PvZ yesterday.
Yeah, really impressive. Well, we'll know, as well as you guys, in 5 seconds. They're choosing the next player. Will it be Showtime? Will it be Dr. Dario? It's going to be Showtime. Amazing call by Petit Drogo.
Yeah.
Just Dust Tower. Good map for PvZ.
I don't know if
There's
it was
not that many.
I don't know if it was amazing, but...
No, amazing call.
Okay.
Don't question it. Don't question it. Thank you guys for following us tonight. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. And when we come back, PvZ on Dust Towers. Petit Drogo will be there, obviously, because he's the best when it comes to Protoss. So don't go anywhere.
Well, hey, welcome back to NationWars 3, everybody. It's time to continue whether this guy can do a reverse all-kill, Roddy.
Or if this flag is going to stay on the desk a little longer to go up against Finland once again. Oh my, look at this beast. Look at him go. Roddy saving esports.
Who's that?
That's you.
Oh, is it?
It's pretty poor form though, guys. Like
I was struggling, that was at the end.
Yeah, that's how they all 53 went like that. That's the problem.
That's not true. You can't just... well, this is the better version. 50, get down! 60. Get down, Kev!
Look at that perfect form. What a man. 90, I may have a beer belly, but I can do some push-ups. Oh wow, that didn't look flattering at all. Did we really? I don't walk around like that normally, guys. I promise. Don't show that video to my mom.
That's what we do in the breaks. We
wear a belt. I want to be comfortable when I cast, Mom. I don't need to wear a belt. Nobody sees my ass. Except when they post videos on the internet, apparently.
All right, Showtime is the next player to be brought out for Germany, Roddy.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a very difficult match for Petraeus. only in the early mid stages. Late game is where Petraeus is going to come in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, super late game. I think for Showtime it's very important here that he slows him down. And by slowing him down, I almost mean like starve him out. If Petraeus really wants to go up to Ultras, Queens, Vipers, whatever, let him do it on 3. No more than 4 bases. And the Dust Towers is a map though where I often feel the moment you have a 4th base, it's going to be very hard for Protoss to do something about the 5th. So I think this is a decent map for Petraeus. We saw him on this map yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that against Parting, right?
Yes,
And he played a monster game. So it's definitely not going to be easy for this gentleman, but I do believe.
All right, here we go. Game number 5 in this best of 7. Up here to the north for Germany. It's Showtime. That's right. That's who it is.
Showtime. And on the south side of Dust Towers, we're looking at the main base of the last hope of the Kiwis. It is, of course, Petraeus.
Petraeus.
Looked a little underwhelming in his first game against Hero Marine, an attack that looked like it was going undetected, but then it did get picked up on. He's still committed to it, and that was just the end. I was a little bit surprised and shocked. That second game, however, that they just played, that felt much more like Petraeus.
He's a new man. He's grown within a series.
I feel Petraeus reminds me of Britney Spears, you know, when she made that song, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
Yeah.
That's what I think of Petraeus. He's not a man, or he's not a boy, but he's definitely not a man yet. But he's well on his way.
Already, I don't even know how your brain went down that way, but Britney Spears, man.
Hey, she had some talent once upon a
She
time.
did. She did have some talent.
And then she went through the same phase as me and shaved her hair. Midlife crisis is real, guys.
I still remember the first time you shaved your head with Ben.
Yeah.
You both did it at the same time. It's so funny. All right, so Nexus first coming out from Showtime, though, on the other side of the map, which is seemingly his favorite option, or his favorite build. He has opened up with Nexus first quite a few times.
Yeah, and I love it here. There's almost no reason, in my opinion, not to do it, unless you truly want to commit to some crazy, like, fast aggression of a first gateway opening, and then it already has a strong follow-up of it, whatever it is, an Oracle into the next aggression, you know. So I feel it's either Nexus first or it's aggression, 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 but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense on a map like this where it's so easy to wall off and it's so safe to go Nexus first to not actually go Nexus first. Of course, everything I just said doesn't go for maps like Ruins of Saras and Lara like Crest because that's a completely different ballgame. Because of the way that the naturals are designed, etc., etc.
Why has he got a probe up the north here? Is it just to chill and then come back later, or?
Could be. Maybe he wants to avoid the links and then hop in to see if there is a gas taken. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes it could be for a cheeky Stargate as well. We've been saying the word cheeky a little bit too much. I want to slow it down. Like off the record, I think it's fine, but on the record, it gets really annoying, especially if you don't like a certain word. So it could be for a potential proxy Stargate, maybe even a robo. That's very far-fetched, but I think it's much more likely that he just wants to avoid the links, swim back in, see if there's a third hatchery, and then also check the extractors. Did you take a gas or not?
Probe.
Oh no, he doesn't go all the way in.
Off, yeah.
Maybe he just knows by the timing of that hatchery. He's like, all right, that's a little bit later. That means that most likely you do have a gas, because if you were gasless, that should have been pretty much done.
Chrono boosting into the Stalker and Adept here to try and save this probe, and then also move out. And he does save it, very nice, and killed both Zerglings.
Interesting mix. Most likely the Adept will make his way across the map and the Stalker is going to stay at home. The Stalker, of course, will provide a wall of security and can also snipe Overlords. That's probably why Showtime went for Stalker Adept rather than double Adept.
Twilight Council, the choice of all 3 tech structures at this point, with the Robo and Stargate, and Twilight's been chosen.
Phoenix DT? No, I'm kidding. Most likely for Blink could be the upgrade for the Adepts as well, but not exactly sure. He doesn't have a Forge yet, so I don't think it's necessarily... It could be a Dark Shrine. Like, it's a pretty fast Twilight Council, and a Dark Shrine is an excellent way to maybe get some map control, hope to do some economic damage, but most importantly, slow Petraeus down. And once again, you don't want to let Petraeus go up to 75 drones, 4 or 5 bases, because he's just a monster.
And there it is, the Adept upgrade, the robotics facility coming in as well. So we're going to see some 2-base Adept all in, Roddy. It seems to be building close to that in the moment.
Does Showtime strike you like a 2-base all in it?
No.
No.
But maybe when he's up, or the country's up 3-1, this makes him play something
True,
like this.
But if you lose this and suddenly it comes down to a ZVZ, and even though Dario is a beast in ZVZ, TLO that is, it's still a little bit risky from time to time. And then if Petraeus would win that as well, so I don't think you can completely see this map as you're just free rolling, and you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't really hurt you. I think it's much more likely he's just going to apply some pressure, but actually does go up to 3 bases and just focus on his own economy. We see the force go down as well, so that's a strong indicator that he doesn't want to finish it immediately.
Well, as Petraeus is trying to figure out what the hell's going on, he's got 3 overlords or 3 scouting options, 2 overlords and Zergling around the main and natural of his opponent, but hasn't really managed to get inside to know what is going on at all.
But this is what I love about a player that's as good as Petraeus, right? We see 6 roaches on the production tab now. He was on 56 drones already, and he still sees his opponent is not going up to 3 bases. And in Legacy of the Void, 5 minute mark, you kind of expect the third Nexus, right? So instead of just blindly squeezing out 15 more drones, make a couple safety roaches, and then the moment you do actually know you're safe, you can always go back to droning. Yes, it slows you down a little bit, but those units won't be useless forever, and in some scenarios it's actually going to save the game for you. So these are just small things that I really love to see. I wonder if he's actually going to run across the map with these Ravengers. That's a reasonable investment.
Especially, it's a pretty dangerous one too. Now the Warp Prism's out. He doesn't know about it, but this Warp Prism, with droning behind while moving out with Ravagers, he's got nothing at home to protect himself against an additional Warp in 2.
And I mean, what are you really hoping for? Maybe you can get a couple sentry kills, but pylons are hard to kill. Of course you can use corrosive bio, but there's only so many times you're going to be able to shoot at that before a Photon Overcharge absolutely shreks all your units. So questionable move out by Petraeus, and let's see if the German Protoss Showtime is able to capitalize on it. I love this. Immediately the 2-on-2 split. That's how you do it, man. That's how you create chaos in the Zerg main base.
And here he gets into the drone line, Showtime. While action is happening on the other side of the map, but with pylons finished up, he's got overcharge, so he's going to be able to defend while attacking. And this gets pushed back quite easily. And he's managed to kill 6 drones in all of this, and still more to go down. So this is a very, very good move here for Showtime.
Awesome move by Showtime, worked out perfectly for him, and a little bit unnecessary by Petraeus to move out there, right? Because when you know that third base is so late, he's going to have plenty of units to deal with your small little hit squad, because this is not 3 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, you know, this is 5 minutes, so obviously Protoss will have something to deal with whatever you were trying to achieve there.
And while he was looking around, he's obviously going to know, after killing 8 or 9 drones, his opponent's going to want to recover. So at this very same time, Showtime's going to move out towards this 4th base, and he may catch a weak Petraeus, who's trying to recover from these earlier drone losses.
Yeah, right now.
Be very careful.
Yep. Right now, Army Survivor Petraeus is definitely not intimidating at all. It's 56 against 49, but that's normally not enough against Blink Stalkers. Blink, however, is not ready yet. Showtime has to be a tiny bit careful. A couple of infestors are on the way, but I don't think they have fetch engine glands, so I actually think this should be a very good fight for Showtime. He might actually be able to seal the deal for Germany.
He might be. This is a perfect little attack following from the drone kills a little bit earlier on, and he continues to warp in, and there's very little here. The infestors have to use their energy for infested terrans, and that is it.
Just
GG.
like that. Volley!
Volley, Germany.
Deutschland.
Knocks out New Zealand. And they put themselves through to, of course, the decider match, which will be going up against Finland. New Zealand weren't the strongest nation coming into this, had to rely very heavily on one player. And Showtime, though, that was a little bit, I think, unlucky from Petraeus, and also, as you said, unnecessary, but a great counter to what happened and a great finishing move, and it was a very simple game from Showtime.
And I mean, he was determined to do something like that all along, right? Whether or not those adepts were going to do that much damage, Showtime was gearing up for a very strong Blink Stalker attack, and I don't mind it. Once again, Petraeus is an absolute monster. We know he loves his hive. We know he loves you know, getting a couple queens out as quick as possible, etc. So, you know, I think it was smart to go for such a strong attack and just try to fight Petraeus when he's not at full force yet.
Yeah, very well done. And that sees Germany move through to the next round. The next stage of this is now the elimination, or decider match, should I say. Second place is up for grabs, and it is an inform from yesterday, Finland, which of course contains the team Zuligang. Said that wrong. Serral and, of course, Welmu. And this is going to be an interesting match to see who joins South Korea.
This is going to be a great match. Yesterday, this really surprised us when Finland was able to defeat Germany 4-3. And it was a shared effort. It wasn't all Serral in that match. Welmu actually did a phenomenal job. And, of course, there's a little bit of pressure to, you know, that quote-unquote weakest link, Zulujian, or still not exactly sure how to pronounce that name, but
Huge Liang.
Huge. Z-huge.
Hiramina's fallen. It's just a flesh wound. Go Millennium Hawk at Showtime. Sunday morning with my kitty man. Roddy loves cat pictures. Please keep sending them in.
Why do you think that's funny? I don't get it.
It's not. I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be funny. NationWars 20, I'll make the Swedish Empire rise again.
Oh, that's awesome.
NationWars. I don't know if you can tell or not, but she's way too excited for NationWars 3. She's sleeping. Go Germany from South Brazil. Love it.
South Brazil.
Got a bigger version of one of those around here.
Well, it's empty, isn't it, Sean?
It is. Yeah, thank you very much for sending your pictures and keep them coming. We will be going to a winners interview very shortly with, of course, Team Germany. Tilo not needed for the first match.
No, it's just a strong performance by Hero Marine. He really stepped up. Yesterday he wasn't able to do the work for his team that he would have probably loved to do, but today he did. And then Showtime, just with a very strong build and awesome execution, was able to seal the deal. And just like that, you're in the deciders match, and we will figure out who's going to be the 8th nation to qualify for the playoffs.
And something that's pretty important, I mean, we talked about it in the start of the show, is that Germany sure is a great nation with Tilo and Showtime, but Hero Marine really had to step up a little bit to support his two teammates. And he did today, and 3 wins like that is obviously very, very good. Not the hardest of opponents.
I mean, the next one is a real test again. We already saw it yesterday, right? Welmo and Sero are 2 incredibly good, and especially Welmo is a very dangerous player. Sero is just very strong all around. And Welmo is, you know, it can be a little hit or miss, but he's very strong in certain departments. So it's not going to be easy for Germany, but I agree with you what you said in the start of the show. If you just look at the depth of the German roster, every race is represented, and normally there is not one guy that truly stands out as the weakest player in that team, and that's a very good sign. I guess Showtime is the ace. I mean, Dario said that he's the ace as well. A lot of people just see Showtime as the best foreign Protoss, maybe even the best foreigner period. So obviously he's the star player, but you know, Dario and Hero Marine, I'd love to have those guys on my team any given day.
Of course. Super excited to see if Sero can continue after yesterday's massive performance from him. Wasn't able to pick up the win versus South Korea, but made a lot of dents and damage to the South Korean team. Hopefully he can step up and, again, provide some awesome matches. I think this is going to be a very closely contested match between the both of them. Hard to call an easy winner.
Yep. I just hope it's going to be as awesome as yesterday. And I mean, there's a lot of eyes on Sero right now, right? Like, I'm just genuinely excited to see how Sero is going to do again. I hope he's going to do great, and that doesn't mean that I hope Finland is going to win, but it would be very sad if it's like a simple 0-2 today where he loses in a quick ZVZ and then loses in a ZVP, for instance. And that's just a little bit sad because that would almost take away from his almost legendary performance yesterday. So I hope we're going to see Sero as strong as he was yesterday, and then it's going to be fireworks, man, because even though Germany is looking very good, a Sero that's as good as yesterday, well, good luck, have fun defeating that kid.
Yeah, it'll be good to see. And also do remember, tonight, after we finish the matches, or after this next game that's coming up, we will be doing the live drawing for the round of 8, which will be played in 2016 on January the 2nd and January the 3rd. So looking forward to that, to see who plays who. But for now, the interview is ready. Let's go hear from Team Germany.
Thank you very much, boys. I'm here with Funka.
Yo.
Pretty nice match.
Yeah.
Showtime got the job done after Hero Marine did most of the heavy lifting, right?
Yes. No, expected result and expected way of showing off. Hero Marine playing amazingly well, and that's a good difference from yesterday. And let's be honest, everybody wants to see the rematch. We want to see Finland against Germany again. That's what I'm looking for the most.
Yeah, Finland, to me, like, they're a little bit of the surprise of this group, so it's going to be good. But first, let's ask the impressions here of our German players. They're all here.
Yay.
Hey, guys, congratulations. You're now one match away from qualifying for the quarterfinals. Did you expect that against New Zealand it was going to be, I guess, easy, so to speak? Or, well, what do you expect here today?
Well, I had full confidence in Showtime and Hero Marine.
So you knew you wouldn't have to play today?
Well, I think I might have to play against Finland because last time we lost. But I also believe Showtime and Hero Marine can beat those guys. And I as well, I hope.
TLO, actually, you were one of the guys that not too long ago, like after getting some good results online, started talking about how you thought that, Germany was like one of the better countries out there in terms of being maybe second best after South Korea, if I remember right. So after all the results and all the games that we've seen here in NationWars 3, how do you still feel that way? Who do you feel has impressed you the most, other than for South Korea in terms of nations?
Well, Cyril definitely impressed me, so we have to look out for that.
And what about Welmu? Welmu took 3 points.
Welmu took 3 points against us yesterday, but I felt we didn't perform like at our best. While Cyril took 3 games of amazing Korean players, which are definitely much stronger than us. But we have to log out today. We definitely have to bring our best game if we want to win.
What about you, Hero Marine? Going into this match, you were the opener, and did you go into it match by match? Did you wait every time to see who you were playing and on what map to decide what you were going to do, or did you plan everything very carefully already in advance to have a good idea that you were going to be able to get a lot of kills, basically?
I expected Mighty Kiwi and Crimson to come out first, so I was already very confident against them. Against Petraeus, it depends on the map. Some maps are really bad for Terrans, so if I get the bad map, then I will probably lose against Petraeus, for example, but I got a decent one, and I won that one, but then I got one of the maps I dislike. Even though the game was looking alright, I lost. But yeah, everything went as I expected it to go. And I expected to take down Crimson and Mighty Kiwi pretty easily, and then perhaps beat Petraeus on a good map.
Showtime, there is a lot of hype around you right now, especially after DreamHack. A lot of people have said you're the best non-Korean Protoss, maybe even the best non-Korean player. Where would you rank yourself in all of this? How well do you consider you playing right now?
Honestly, I don't really care like which rank I am. I just play my best and hope I get far in every tournament. Because like right now it's still early on in the new expansion, so it's really hard to say where you stand in the foreign scene. So yeah, I don't really care about it.
Okay, I just want to ask a little bit about the upcoming match. You guys are going to be playing Finland. It's a rematch. Yesterday didn't go your way. Do you have any explanation for what happened? And are you hyped today to just crush the Finland hype train and like, yeah, you guys took some maps away from the Korean, but now you're eliminated because Germany is best. Showtime, maybe? I don't know.
I think against Finland, we played not very good against Malmo, so we took a lot of points. And my last game against Cyril, I probably could have won. Like I made some stupid mistakes. Like his circling did way too much damage, and I could never really finish him off because I felt like I was quite ahead in the game for a long time. So I'm actually pretty confident that we are going to beat Finland this time.
Okay, you just need to take care of Walmu then. Then maybe yesterday you overlooked him a little bit, or was it just mistakes? But you mentioned mistake, TLO. Like, why did you guys lose 3 points to Walmu? That was so unexpected.
Well, I mean, it can always happen that you just lose games a little bit by probability as well, or just having styles just clashing, especially at the start of the beta. Nobody really knows how to play perfectly yet, so things are a little bit less stable. So I'm not too worried about yesterday's results because today can be completely different. We just need to make sure that we are in our comfortable spot and just play towards our best rather than like panicking because we're seeing something that we're not used to or that our plans get disrupted, and then go for some all-in rather than playing macro and stuff like that.
Do you think that the fact we saw Finland play so many maps yesterday against both you and South Korea helps you because you got to see a lot of what they do, or do you think it doesn't particularly help you in the sense that they showed how good they can be and that's a little bit scary?
Well, I personally always prefer to have lost against somebody and then having a rematch. Rather than having won against somebody and having a rematch. Maybe that's just me, but it's kind of nice because if you're the loser, it feels like you always have something to look at and see what you can improve to beat your opponent. While as winner, sometimes you're in a more psychologically hard spot because you feel now this other guy is probably going to do something else and maybe my victory before is meaningless because now I can get countered. I prefer to be the loser in an up-and-coming rematch.
All right, the legend of the GSL group style, like the winner from the first game gets eliminated next. We hope that happens for you guys. Thank you for the interview, and we'll see you in a bit, Dario, for the pre-game interview. Congratulations, you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, Germany, one of the favorite to make it out, and now gets a rematch against an amazing team of Finland. I'm really looking forward to it. But without further ado, Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Funker. The hype and excitement is building for the rematch from yesterday to see which way this is going to go. Roddy, be
You're
honest
a
with
little bit
me.
of a tiger, though. Like,
Who's winning?
He said Tigers, take it away. I think he was mostly talking to you.
No, he was talking to the French casters. They're animals down there. But who do you think is going to win?
I'm still going to go with Germany, even though Sarah was an absolute monster yesterday, and I love Wellmuth too, and I think he's very strong. But I think overall, the fact that Germany most likely has 3 players that can take a very important map, while the other Finnish guy, Zilujian, I'm afraid he's just not at the level as the rest of the players in this NationWars. That could really make the difference. But I mean, if Sero is as good as he was yesterday, it's truly possible that Finland will advance to the quarterfinals, and that would be a huge upset. I mean, losing Germany as well. We already lost Norway. We lost Mexico, 2 nations that have performed so well in the past. So it would be a shocker. It's not impossible, but if I'm a gambling man, which I'm not really, but if I would, if I would be, then I would go for Germany.
All right, well, you heard it best from Rossi. We're excited for it. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, it is time for the highlight match of the evening.